Having problems building iron farms in 1.17.32? Don't worry, this iron farm is 100% future-proof, unless Mojang somehow horrendously break everything in a future update, in which case this tutorial could be completely useless. But I'm sure everything's fine. I'm going to assume that you already know how to build a basic iron farm already, because of course you've already watched my easy iron farm for Minecraft Bedrock Edition tutorial video, which is basically the same as this, but without the trading hall, right? No? Well, you can watch that speedy but informative video later and fill in any gaps you have after watching this video. Anyway, I've been waffling, so let's speed run through the first few sections. Chapter 1, Storage. We're going to keep things simple with this storage system because this is the easy iron farm with the trading hall for Minecraft Bedrock Edition tutorial and not the relatively complicated iron farm with the trading hall for Minecraft Bedrock Edition tutorial. So basically throw down a double chest about 20 blocks above the ground and then put a hopper facing into it. Put another double chest on top of that, face 2 hoppers into the top of that and put 2 more hoppers facing into those hoppers and surround those 4 hoppers with a ring of magma blocks. That's for killing those cute little kitties and stealing all of their string later. And if you don't want to kill those cute little kitties and steal all of their string, then don't use magma blocks here. Chapter 2, the spawning platform. To build the spawning platform, grab any solid spawnable block and measure out 9 blocks in each direction. That's 9 blocks including the magma blocks, you murderer. So basically you're building a 20 by 20 block platform centered around the hoppers. Hop a 1 block high solid wall around the edges with leaves on top, leaving an 18 by 18 area in the middle, and put 4 sea lanterns or shroom lights in the 4 corners. And that's the spawn platform done, minus the water and the lava kill box, which we'll save for later in case we have any villager accidents. To create the village, this is chapter 3 by the way, make an 8 by 8 block platform from temporary solid blocks 2 blocks above the spawning platform. Put 20 beds with their pillows facing as close to the middle as possible, and then remove the temporary blocks from below the beds. Next, we're going to make another 20 by 20 platform, but this time totally out of leaves and positioned directly on top of the beds. This will be the base for our trading hall, and it needs to be made of leaves to prevent those pesky iron golems from spawning in the wrong place. Trust me, those cheeky beggars can spawn on just about anything now, even lightning rods. With the leafy platform now in place, find the center of your platform and mark out a temporary 10 by 10 block square around the center. Next, grab a temporary block that's different from the others you've used before. These are going to be fake workstations. We're using fake ones because we'll have to add the real ones once we've got the villages in place so that they link properly. Put 20 of your fake workstations down around the 10 by 10 square, 1 block apart from each other, and then put a solid block both sides of each one of those, so every fake workstation has a solid block on each side of it. Remove the temporary 10 by 10 ring you made in the center and then put another solid block in front of all of the solid blocks that are next to the workstations to the outside of the platform with leaves on top of those solid blocks. That doesn't sound complicated at all. What? Then put another row of leaves on top of the cross of all of those, making another complete square. Finally, put a block of leaves in front of each one of these new villager size holes you've made, leaving a 1 block gap of air above. Our villagers are going to live inside of these pods, but putting them in from the outside is going to be pretty tricky. So we're going to remove all of the temporary workstations as well as the solid blocks we put on each side of them, and put the villagers inside of their pods from the back where they can't fall off the edge and down into the spawning platform and burn in the lava we haven't put in yet. However, you've probably noticed that we don't have any villagers yet. That's sad. For you don't have any villagers. Hopefully I'm totally wrong and you've planned ahead and you've got a whole bunch of villagers ready to be transported up to the middle of this farm. We'll need 20 altogether, and if you've got a million years to wait, you can always transport just 2 and breed them. But be careful if you do, as we've left 1 block holes that babies can jump out of, so you might want to go over all of those and cover them up with slabs so the babies can't escape. As you breed the villagers or as you transport more over, take time to use a bit of temporary rail and a minecart to get them in the right places. But don't leave them in their minecarts, because minecarts despawn now, because Bedrock works perfectly. Secure your villagers in place with some temporary slabs or trapdoors covering up the top half of the hole you put them in. Break their minecarts if you use minecarts, and then go about the painstaking task of linking them to their workstations. Remember that farmers, fishermen and librarians don't work in the rain, so expect those to be less productive than villagers with other professions. Once you've got all of your villagers linked to their workstations, remove any trapdoors you have, because cats will spawn on them and you can't murder cats if they're standing on trapdoors. And then place leaves over all of the workstations you've placed. If you've got any cats in this area, kill them, unless you want to save them of course, because you're not an evil cat murderer, in which case you can pop them in a boat and waste a perfectly good name tag on them. Now for water logging. Basically we need all the villagers standing in water sources so that they don't unlink from their workstations. Don't ask me why this works, but it does. So do it, or you'll be sad when all of your villagers suddenly decide they want someone else's workstation, but they can't reach the one they've suddenly decided they prefer, so they stop working, which stops them refreshing their trades and will potentially stop iron golems from spawning. So do it. Place the water on the side of the solid blocks inside the villager pods and not on the leaves, or you'll waterlog the leaves and have bigger problems to deal with. Once all of the villagers' feet are acceptably perfectly wet, your trading hall is complete and you can go about finishing off the iron farm in chapter 4. At this point, assuming you've done everything correctly, you should have a whole bunch of cats, safe or loose, running about the place with 2 iron golems walking around in the spawn area. If you haven't, then sad news, my friend, you've messed up somewhere. So kill all of your villagers, tear down everything you've done, delete Minecraft, and go have a cup of tea and angrily ponder about what a rubbish tutorial this is. If you have got 2 iron golems, however, good news! Let's crack on with the kill box. Put some temporary blocks over the hoppers in the center of the farm, 3 blocks high, so they're touching the bottom of the beds above. Then put 8 fence gates around the top layer and open them. Destroy the bottom 2 layers of the temporary blocks you just placed above the hoppers, leaving the 4 at the top, and put a fence gate underneath each of those temporary blocks and open those too. Then remove the final 4 temporary blocks and pop a bucket of lava into the fence gate cage you just created. Now all you need to do is add water and you should be golden. Or iron. Place water around the edges, making it flow to the middle and making sure you don't have any dead spots, and then watch as the cats burn. I mean golems burn, giving you lots and lots of iron, poppies, and cat string. But not much cat string, because the cats are smart enough to not fall for your magma block trap, and they will sit patiently in the hoppers until you unload the chunks and they will despawn. Then more will spawn and they'll sit patiently in the hoppers again. One more thing you can do if you're paranoid about bugs like I am is to put another leafy platform about 4 blocks above your villagers to protect against lightning strikes. You shouldn't need to, but it's a good idea just in case. And now you've done all that, you have successfully finished the easy iron farm with a trading hall for Minecraft Bedrock Edition tutorial, which means you'll be iron rich, but emerald poor. But don't worry, in this video, I show you how to make your iron farm rain emeralds as well, or maybe it's your emerald farm raining iron.